up till now we completed 3 videos. Still you are facing any issues, you can able to contact us. We are available 24/7, and make sure that if you need any kind of a server or business requirement, we are available. Here our motto is to help you out in the server processes. We know that technology is an extremely hard part, and in that if you get a support, that time you just need to focus on your business. We will from back end help you in your servers. So that means you can able to save your 30 to 40% time by outsourcing your server management to Dedicated Core, our official server management company and server provider. So in this video we are doing some more settings which are necessary to do in cPanel. Let's go first cPanel updates, that is update preference. Here you can able to set various things. We have already covered this video in the very second part of this series, so you can able to go and watch that, because this interface might change time to time, and we will highly recommend you to stay on stable version. Now it is time to go to the next setting, that is compiler. Click on compiler access, and here set to disable it, and done. This is only for security purpose, but if your project needs that, so you can able to enable it. But if you are selling this server to your client, so that time we highly recommend you to disable it all the time. Next we will go to the password management, that is configure security policies. Here we can limit IP address to the verified one, but it is not required. So in this case I will highly recommend to set these two things. Before that it will asking us to configure this setting. So let me open this in new tab, and here I will try to set it to the 80, and it is a default one, so no need to configure this because it will automatically all these settings considered to the 81, and click on save. That means your password strength should be minimum 80% as per the password rules or standards. Now after clicking on these two options, and here it will ask for the password A. That means after 90 days automatically your password will not allow to log in, because here you need to change the password. Okay, so that settings are only for the users, so it is not for the root, so no worry about that. Click on save. Once done, it is time to move ahead with cP Hulk. It is already covered in the second video of this series. Now we will go for the next, that is security questions, and click on this option, and here we can add or remove the recognized IP address. And one more thing, here make sure that you set this setting, so if sometimes you need to recover the password, you can able to recover it from these options. So in this case we have set certain questions, and we can also set, we need to set the password as well. So in this case user wanted to do something or change your password or thing, we can able to recover it from here. I'm not setting because this is only for the demonstration for you guys, so you can able to set up entire cPanel on your server. Now we will move for the next setting, that is shell fork boom. That is nothing but one kind of SSH attack that we need to protect from our server. To protect this, we need to enable this setting. This means SSH is almost protected, so if someone tried to attack on your server or do some kind of a brute force attack, so that time it will try to block all these things. Now we need to go to the next setting, that is SMTP restrictions, and click on this SMTP restriction option. Here it is already enabled, so it is already set in a proper way. So that means this restrictions allows you to avoid email spamming from the server. So to avoid all of this, we has to enable this option. So always make sure that avoid these restrictions. Next movement is about SSH only, that is SSH password authentication tweak. That means based on password you wanted to log in, so you can able to log in, but in some cases we need for the key based. So this way we can again add extra layer of security for our SSH login. With password people cannot able to log in, they always need to generate from cPanel SSH key and then only they can able to log in. For that we have already created a video on domain racer for how to use this key and log into the server, so your user can able to log in. But if you want a password based login, so that time you can able to disable this. Okay, so this is how we done. Now we go for the FTP server configuration. FTP server configuration. Here one thing has to be noted, that is there are a lot of things will be there. In some cases you want ideal time to increase to 25 or 35, or load maximum load for anonymous download, so that time I may say that like 2, 5, 20, so that you can able to set easily from your side. Please make sure that these all settings are only based on your project requirement. So understand your project and then only do the settings. Let's move for gray listing. What is a gray listing? We has to understand what is a gray listing. Gray listing is nothing but a IP or email based spamming. So if someone is trying to send an email to your server, in this case, do you want that email ID to be checked against spam? So that time you need to enable this setting, because if you enable this, that time you can able to say that your server may reject all the emails which are not set up properly, or they are trying to do a spam with your server. So that is how this gray listing work. Here you can able to also whitelist certain domains. If you wanted to whitelist, you can able to also whitelist certain email provider like Gmail, Hotmail, whatever based on your project requirement. And if you wanted to report something, you can able to see here what are the IP addresses, what are the domains, what are the services are blocked, and when they are going to unblock, it is all going to share. That is nothing but you can able to see that from this gray listing you can able to monitor your email spamming for the incoming. But still this is not the greatest or best tool, because in market there are a lot of tools available which helps you in incoming email spam protection. But still this is one of the best tool or best settings we need to set if you want this for free of cost. Now we will move further for the background process killer. What is background process killer? So we are running a cPanel, right? cPanel server or WHM server. So that time you may able to see that we running the server almost 5 months, 10 months, 12 months, 15 months or 2 years, 3 years without even restarting our server. So in this case, there are a lot of processes which might be running continuously. So that added continuously on your server. So that means it will start consuming day by day your resources. To avoid this, we need to kill certain processes. If some process is ideal, so this background process killer is one of the revolution that they had created. So they will block this, or you can say able to say they will terminate this processes, so your processor or server, RAM, CPU or hard disk may not utilize, so you can able to run your server continuously year on year. One more thing, there is one more application called as a kernel care, which is provided by CloudLinux. That is the most important tool if you wanted to do certain updates, you wanted to upgrade your server without any downtime or without doing a restart. So that time you can able to opt for kernel care. We are going to create a video on that as well, so you have to stay with this video series. Let's move further. Now we will go to the Auto SSL and click on Manage Auto SSL. Here is the best part. In this video, we knows that cPanel already covered their own but in this case we will choose Let's Encrypt, because we observe that Let's Encrypt perform very well. And here I will click on Agree and Recreate, because once suppose in this case some cPanel not registered, or some cPanel or some domains are not having SSL, it will automatically regenerate the SSL certificate. So it will be create automatic certificate once he found any SSL certificate is not installed on particular domain. If you not understand simple meaning, if someone buys or someone open a new cPanel account, create a cPanel account, so that time automatically SSL certificate is issued. So you don't need to pay any single rupees. Click on save. Okay, there is option settings. So here you can able to set this option as per your requirement. To understand this, we are going to say one thing. You can able to set this based on your project requirement, because many things we cannot able to directly say and set like you can able to set this, because this is our server. Each and every person needs a different configuration. So to avoid complications, I just try to explain the things so you can able to take a decision based on your requirement. But if you need management from our side, definitely we will do our own. So you do not even need to log in into server, configure it, nothing. Just host your website and run. We do everything from the backend. This will save you a 30% time, and that same time will help you in business growth. So let's move for the next setting, but for that we need to close this video, because afterwards we need to create a separate videos on different applications or different options from WHM.